Dear students, welcome in this lecture which is related to rootstocks and relationship. As we are aware about the significance of rootstock in horticultural crops, particularly the perennial species, we have also studied that what scion is. Scion is that part of a graft union which grow into a shoot system, while rootstock is the component of graft union which develop as a root system. The rootstock is responsible for providing nutrients and water from soil to the scion cultivar growing over this. While scion cultivar will be dependent over rootstock and will be of high yielding in nature. So the cultivars with good commercial value are generally selected for grafting and budding purpose. Many fruit crops like mango, apple, jackfruit, bear, bale, they are commercially propagated by various means of grafting or budding, where the objective is to utilize the importance of rootstock or to utilize the features or characteristics of rootstock which will be enabled to make the scion compatible with the various adverse conditions. Either it is related to soil stress or it is related to any biotic or abiotic stress. It is clear that rootstock and scion, both components, are taken from two different plants and are combined together to develop into a single individual which is able to modify the characters or to alter or to change the characters. This change in character may be attributed to resistance against the diseases, insect pest, or tolerance towards the unfavorable environment and soil conditions. It may also include the alteration of growth pattern, vigor, productivity, fruit yield, and quality aspect. In this combination, compatibility is very important factor because in many graft union it has been observed that they are not successful after certain period of time, resulting the incompatibility reaction between two components. Although compatibility between rootstock and scion is not genetically governed fact, but similarity in the genetical character or closeness in the genetical character between two components will result in successful grafting or budding, or it may result in better compatibility between both the components. Thus, rootstock should have some important characteristics which is going to be utilized during the budding and grafting purpose, which is not possible in layering or cutting. Among the various characteristics of a rootstock, the most important thing is the compatibility factor. The rootstock should be compatible with the sand. If it is not compatible with sand, then immediate or delayed incompatibility reaction will occur, and the successful growth of the scion over the rootstock will not take place. Considering this, various research work has been done, and as the outcome, many compatibility combination has been proposed. Another important characteristics of rootstock is its wider adaptability under different conditions. The rootstock should be able to grow in different soil and climatic conditions. It should be resistant against the various biotic stress, either including diseases or pests. It should be able to survive under abiotic stress related to soil like high salt, drought conditions. It should have ability to transfer the important character or positive influence over the character of the scion. So it should be able to regulate well the bearing habit and quality of scion without deteriorating or without any negative impact. The rootstock is being developed either through the seeds called as seedling rootstock or through the cutting and layering called as clonal rootstock. The influence of rootstock over the scion can be studied under the following headings: vigor or stature of the tree, that it is dwarfism or medium vigors or vigorous growth, fruiting attributes like size, quality, time of maturity, yield, cold hardiness, ability to resist against the cold situations, particularly for the temperate fruit, disease resistance, the diseases specific to the particular crop, tolerance to the adverse soil condition, either it is waterlogging or soil salinity, and better nutrient uptake. There are many rootstocks of apple. Some of them are seedling rootstocks, like crab seedlings, Malus sylvestris, which was earlier used as a rootstock, most common rootstock of apple. Apomictic rootstocks means those which give the non-zygotic seedlings like Malus hufensis, Malus torringoides, Malus sargensi, and Malus sikimensis. The clonal rootstock, the research on clonal rootstock was started and after the successful research at the East Malling Research Station, a series of clonal rootstocks have been developed which are called as Malling series. Among that, M9, M27 and 20 are dwarfing rootstock. Particularly M27 is considered as ultra dwarfing rootstock. M2, M7 and 26 are semi-dwarfing in nature, means the growth or vigor is medium, while the vigorous one is M12 and M25. The heavy growth has been reported when apple cultivars are grafted over M16 rootstock. The major challenge or major problem of Malling series was the attack of woolly aphid. The Malling series has significantly controlled the vigor, but the ability to control aphid was not reported. Most of them were sensitive towards aphid. Then, two research institutes, John Innes Horticultural Institute Merton and East Malling Research Station Malling, both have jointly worked and developed Malling Merton series, series, which were having woolly aphid resistance capacity. East Malling Long and Stone Research Station has also developed EMLA series which were free from the virus attack. In Poland, Polish series were developed of which P18 is having resistance to collar rot while P12 was having dwarfing nature. Similarly, a number of series like Bud series or B series sometimes, Ottawa series, Max series have been developed from the different research station. The other important clonal rootstocks of apple that have been reported were A2 with better anchor and better you can say branching and canopy arrangement. Robusta 9 and Robusta number 5, which was reported to be cold hardy. Bemeli, which was reported to easy to root and easy to get propagated, and as well as having good dwarfing impact like M26. Paulins 80, a hybrid. Jock 9, it is open pollinated selection from M9 seedlings. Northern Spy, which is very important rootstock. Why it is important? It is woolly aphid resistance and were earlier used for the good rootstock and as well for the breeding purpose. Like all Malling Merton series that we have discussed, they were the result of hybridization program between M series and Northern Spy. Similarly, the novel is a selection, open pollinated seedling selection of Meles prunifolia from Japan. Vineland series have been also reported with extreme dwarfing nature. So if you will see the uh, growth pattern over the different rootstock, M27, which is called as ultra dwarfing rootstock, to the very vigorous rootstock, including M1, M16, MM104, Robusta 5, Alnula 2 seedlings. So this is the pattern of different rootstocks. So you can observe that for high density planting, M27, M9, M7, 26 and MM106 are generally considered to be better because of their small vigor. Many rootstocks have been evaluated on the basis of their precocious nature. in for the flowering and fruiting, and bearing age has been reported to be as small as 3 to 4 years in case of M9, M Mark, M26, M7, 106 mm series, MM11 is relatively longer period, and seedling root stocks are generally taking 6 to 10 years to become in bearing stage. Right. So winter hardness has also cold hardness has been reported. MM8 is cold hardy, followed by Bud 490, Ottawa 3, and Polis 1, and they can uh, resist significantly towards the winter or cold temperature. In pear rootstock, Queen's rootstock was reported, and Queen's it is you can say Sidonia oblonga. So the seedling Queen's seedling rootstock have been reported for the for better in terms of performance for the pear fruit in terms of significant or good vigor and high yield. But it was reported that only few of the good variety were compatible with the Sidonia or Queen's rootstock. However, the common high yielding variety like Bartlett, Bosque, Winter Nellis, Eldorado, Clap Favorite, Forella, Farmingdale, and Sickle were reported to be incompatible. Under this situation, the third component was entered during the propagation or grafting program, and that third component was considered as interstock. The most compatible rootstock, the most compatible scion cultivar Old Home was taken for this purpose, because Old Home is the compatible with the pear, so compatible with the Queen's rootstock. So Queen's rootstock was grafted with Old Home, and after some time, when this compatibility or when this grafting was successful, then again regrafting was done with the non-compatible or incompatible scion cultivars conference, or you can go for the Bartlett Boss. So why that? The Queen's rootstock is compatible with the Old Home scion, and Old Home is compatible with this all incompatible varieties or scion. So the double grafting was reported to be successful to utilize Queen's rootstock in pear crop. Many hybridization program has also been done, and hybrids of Old Home and Farmingdale was reported to be beneficial in terms of the rootstock breeding program in pear. And as you are observing that the increasing trend or the growth or vigor in the various clonal and seedling rootstock, Hawthorne was reported to be the dwarf. Queen's A is reported to be dwarf. However, most of the hybrids were reported to be medium and vigorous category, and very vigorous category it is Old Home rootstock. So utilization of Queen's rootstock along with Old Home can be utilized for reducing the vigor of pear and can improve the compatibility between the rootstock and scion. In terms of yield and quality for the pear, Pyrus betulifolia was reported as a good rootstock for science having lesser vigor, because it is having a ability to impart high vigor. So it is suitable for those scion which is having very poor growth tendency, like sickle, but it is not good for the anju which is having very good vigors. So if you will use both scion and stock as a heavy vigorous, then obviously the plant will have a very heavy growth pattern and very poor yield. The major disorder which is related to rootstocks are hard end, which has been reported in Pyrus ascendens and Pyrus pyrifolia, and cork spot of Anju, which is caused when grafted over the betulifolia. So yield efficiency was reported to be very good in Queen's rootstock as well as Old Home F51 hybrid in high density cropping system. A wide range of rootstocks has also been reported for citrus, which are being utilized for various purposes. The characteristics in terms of their tolerance, their resistance, their vigor, and the fruit quality has been given in this table. Many of these rootstock like trifoliate orange, Carizo citrons, Trier citrons, Benton citrons, Calyptra mandarin, sweet orange, citronella, Rangpur lime, Swingle citrumella. So these are the common rootstocks, mostly the hybrid. Some of them are intergeneric as well as interspecific hybrid, and their ability to determine the quality of citrus fruit is quite variable from high to very high, even the moderate one. So very high resistance to the nematode in case of trifoliate carizo and trier citronses. Very high resistance toward the phytophthora in case of trifoliate oranges. Similarly, very high scion vigor in citronella and Rangpur lime. While trifoliate was reported to have a low scion vigor, so you can say it has a dwarfing effect. Very high salt tolerance in Rangpur lime and Calyptra mandarin. Very high tolerance to lime in citronel rootstock. Most of them were reported to grow well in the sand and loamy soil with sweet orange and citronel, which are not suitable for the loamy soil. Or in clay soil, trifoliate oranges were reported to be very good rootstock. So these rootstocks are most commonly being utilized for the citrus cultivation, where in this table the characteristics and their requirement and major risk factor has been explained, mentioned. Among all these, trifoliate orange like with Poncirus trifoliata was reported to be one of the best rootstock for the citrus fruit. Calyptra mandarin and sweet oranges are also suitable. In India, rough lemon is most commonly being used. At some places, Rangpur lime is also utilized. So there is a wide variability in citrus species, and many species are being utilized for the purpose of rootstock. So by this lecture, it is very clear that rootstock selection is very important process in propagation of fruit trees, where compatibility between rootstock and scion is equally important. So thank you for this class. We will continue in the next lecture.